In the 1940s, the 7 former colonies on the Paine Peninsula became independent states. These included the Union of Ambrosia in the north and the Republic of Rovenia in the south. In 2015, the 7 states of the peninsula created a regional organization called the Organization for Cooperation and Development in the Paine, or OCDP. Fishing is a key economic sector for the states of the Paine Peninsula, given that the Naegea Sea is rich in various tuna species. By the 1980s, the states of the Paine Peninsula had defined the baselines from which their maritime zones are measured as ambulatory. When the coastline moves, the baseline moves. After a scientific report that global climate change would lead to sea level rise in the peninsula, in 2015, Ambrosia adopted a freezing law that fixed its baselines at the low water lines existing on the 1st of November 2015. Despite repeated protests from Rovenia, the 5 other states on the peninsula passed similar laws establishing fixed baselines. The Triton Shoal is an area rich in tuna off the coast of Ambrosia. By 2018, Ambrosia's coastlines had receded so far that if the baselines were set at the actual low water mark, the entire Triton Shoal would be outside of its EEZ, claiming that the Triton Shoal was now fully located in the high seas. Rovenia issued fishing permits for the Triton Shoal area. Ambrosia repeatedly protested the licenses, claiming that because of its fixed baselines, parts of the Triton Shoal were still within Ambrosia's EEZ. In February 2019, Prosper Duray, the president of Ambrosia, was re-elected. His new vice president, Mary Zavala, commissioned the Air Force to repurpose a military aircraft for use as her official airplane, the Falcon. 3 years later, the president of Ambrosia suffered a hemorrhagic stroke, resulting in a coma, and Vice President Zavala became acting president in accordance with the Constitution. Following a destructive hurricane in the Ambrosian fishing village Dovilina in February 2023, and the acting president's failure to provide an adequate response, protests in Ambrosia erupted. These were led by Rooney Perettis, a member of the National Assembly representing Dovilina. Mass resignations from the Ambrosian cabinet followed, and Ms. Perettis established a transitional council, which claims solo executive power, pending the return of President Duray. Ms. Zavala, who was abroad at the time, diverted to Rovenia to plan her return to Ambrosia, while the Transitional Council consolidated its control over the country. While parked at Rovenia's airport, Rovenian police prohibited any movement of the Falcon, pending a decision on enforcement proceedings concerning a lawsuit against Ambrosia before Rovenian courts. On behalf of the Transitional Council, Ms. Perettis waived any immunity claim Ambrosia had over the Falcon, which Ms. Zavala, still claiming to be the rightful acting president, opposed, at the request of the Rovenian court. The Rovenian foreign minister declared that the Transitional Council and not Ms. Zavala had the authority to speak for Ambrosia, thereby recognizing the former as the legitimate government of Ambrosia. The court ordered the Falcon to be auctioned. In June 2023, the NGO Human Rights International published a report concerning ILSA, a program launched by Ambrosia a decade earlier to combat illicit drug production, distribution, and use. According to Human Rights International, Ms. Gertrude Cross, the former Minister of Interior of Ambrosia, was involved, during her time in office, in the abduction of Ambrosian nationals under the ILSA program. The report cited previously undisclosed statements from police officers, images, and audio recordings that implicated Ms. Cross in overseeing the abductions. In December 2023, President Duray, who awoke from his coma, returned to Ambrosia, resuming his executive functions. On the 1st of May 2024, the Office of Rovenia's General Prosecutor filed a complaint against Ms. Cross for the crime of enforced disappearance. 1 day later, the Pomola Criminal Court found the complaint admissible and issued an arrest warrant. Ms. Cross was taken into custody in Rovenia, where she had stayed with her family since her resignation from the Ambrosian government. Upon learning of Ms. Cross's detention, Ambrosia's President Duray demanded her release, claiming that as a former minister, accused of committing a crime in her official capacity, she was entitled to immunity from prosecution in foreign courts. Rovenia rejected Ambrosia's request, claiming that Ms. Cross stands accused of conduct that is criminal under Rovenian laws. On the 11th of July 2024, Ambrosia filed an application with the Registry of the International Court of Justice, instituting proceedings against Rovenia under Article 21 of the OCDP Charter.